One's good, one's bad, yeah, they're really always like this. We don't know who's who, but at least we know who Mike is. They love to complain, they got sports on the brain, and they frequently drive each other insane. It's the good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. It's the good and the bad and the Mike.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Good, the Bad and the Mike. I'm Oisin. That's Cian.
Hello.
And that's Mike.
Hello.
Alright.
Not trying to do more intros, Mike.
No, I was told straight from the bat that did not work. Just stick to hello.
I mean, it doesn't have to be just hello, but you know.
The focus group said, no, just stick to what you know.
Solid. Probably a good shout.
Did not score well with the over 20s.
Alright, so let's just jump straight into the news. Mike, let's go to you first, because you're the only one with news, pretty much.
That's it. Alright, so last week, England's women's team beat Latvia 20-0.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they did.
Which has brought into question, should these qualifier games actually take place, or should there be a separate qualifying group, like a second stage, before the bigger teams enter to avoid mismatches like this?
Ireland's women's team beat, was it Georgia? 11-0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they? I know
Yeah, I think
they'd
so.
won a couple recently.
But
Pretty sure I saw that.
I think there's a point, because even in the...
Oh, maybe
Not
they
just
did. They did.
yeah.
11,
Yeah.
yep, 11
They only
versus
needed a
Georgia.
2-0 win to overtake. Oh no, they didn't even.
Yeah.
Wait, I think, isn't it?
But like, I'm looking at the stats of the England game here. It was 86% possession, 63 shots to 0, 30 shots on target, 15 corners.
Jesus.
Like, one side
It's-
you can
yeah.
get. And is it any good for the game? Just like, because it's a competitive game, should there be a second qualifying group that winners then go to the next stage?
Like, maybe
Where you add the bigger teams.
it's going to take so long, and they tend to not do that with UEFA. That, like,
Also-
it's always...
To be fair,
Yes.
you've got teams like Georgia, who we beat 11-0, who are 4 games, 4 losses, 0 goals scored, 20 goals against. Granted, 11 of those did come in one game, but like it's very difficult to put.
I mean, no. Mike, who's the team you play against who have lost other games with
Ballywalter.
15 goals or something like that?
Ballywalter.
Ballywalter.
It's very
Wait.
difficult though to get all those teams in one group and go, all right, the best of the worst get through. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just you're essentially just postponing those kind of results to the next stage.
It's not just probably women's football, it's also men's. Like we saw the San Marino England game in the qualifier.
Yes.
Was miles apart in difficulty, and I know England were even complaining. I know they were saying, what's the point? Like, at one stage, I think one of the players, can't say which, he was complaining, saying, within 40 minutes, I wasn't worried about the result. I was worried is there going to be one bad tackle that's just going to hit my legs. Because I
Like-
have a career out of this. They don't.
Yeah, like, yes. Oh, wow, what a cut, first of all.
No, absolute good for saying that. Yes, I did find
Yes.
out which guy.
I mean, I can
But
see
like-
where he's coming from, but also, yeah, what a prick.
Like, they could have some kind of, like, because there's only really... Like, they're in the men's European stuff, there'd only be kind of, like, 3, 4 who you'd consider absolute walkovers, like San Marino, Andorra, Liechtenstein. Like, once you get up one level past them, even though you're still constantly probably beating teams well, it's not a walkover. So, like, we do have a qualifier of 3 teams, and then what? One of them gets the honor of getting the shit kicked into them by England every 2 years.
Oh yeah, we're so happy to have this proud honor.
Yeah, so I don't think there's enough teams in Europe to do it.
Yeah.
Like we see with Oceania and Asia, where there's a huge gap and there's genuine tiers where it seems to
Yeah.
work better. Like there's consideration to be had, but like the women's might be more teams teams where it's a genuine concern, but I don't think with the men's there's enough weaker teams to.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah,
It'd be very difficult.
I did
to
find
do.
funny, the men's Rio game against England. I was laughing because when the starting 11
Yeah,
comes in, I don't know why they showed like what part
they
that
always
they
do.
did,
that.
thing, and the left back was registered as student. I was like, oh my god! Can you imagine? It's like, oh, what you went up last night? That was Mark Harry Kane.
Yeah.
All right then.
Were you not
Yeah,
supposed to
like
be
somebody's working on a
studying?
rainy Thursday morning.
Why aren't you in class? Oh my god.
Where's your
Actually, it's
homework?
funny,
Harry Kane aided.
When my club won the Donegal Senior Football Championship 3 years ago now, I think it was 2018, and they played the Ulsters and they had like programs for them because our team primarily does everything through Irish. A lot of the player information is done through Irish as well, and one of the sections they had was players' jobs, which all the players gave jobs in Irish, and of course they didn't fact check this, so most of them just gave I think we had 4 or 5 surgeons in the team, 3 or 4 lawyers.
That's a very smart team.
Right?
The other ones we had, yeah, it's a very educated
Very,
team.
very
Yeah,
educated.
Meanwhile-
I'm pretty impressed.
Meanwhile, Keane just went
yeah,
stupid.
student,
At least he was
full
honest.
time mad bastard. Mm.
All right, Keane, what news have you got for us?
Yeah, big weekend. Ralph's at the wheel. Fred got him a good 1-0 win over. Ralph's at the wheel. United are back. Give him a 4-year deal.
That's it.
You'll love to see it.
That's it. He's good. He turned Fred into a world beater.
Yeah.
More goals than Cristiano Ronaldo this season under Ralph.
You can't deny those
28
stats.
million wasted.
You like the facts speak.
I mean, they had
the
3
facts
shots
speak
on
for
target.
themselves.
God, they're terrible.
There, but they
Was
won.
that
That's
his
what
first
matters.
game, or did he take charge of the other one?
No, that was his first game. Yeah, he's got a 100% record.
Yeah.
Retire now.
Himself and Michael Carrick are the only managers with a 100% record.
Oh,
pretty-
Carrick drew a game, didn't he?
Yeah, but Carrick drew a game, so it's kind of
Carrick
hard
was
to do,
fair. Only unbeaten
Oh, no.
managers.
No, that's right. They beat Chelsea 1-1. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
exactly. A good win.
So that was interesting to see. Big fan of that.
Fair. They play tomorrow night or Wednesday night in the.
Wednesday against the fabulous young boys. They're going to beat up on some kids Wednesday night.
Those, but they actually have a really nice run of fixtures to get Ralph started.
They
play-
they do.
Young boys, Norwich,
Yeah.
Brentford might be a bit tough. Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley. Like they should win. They should win all those games. But
Yeah.
you just don't know what United.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the table and then I refreshed it because I wanted to see if Newcastle are still bottom, and Arsenal just taking the lead over Everton in the last minute or so.
Yes.
That was nil.
Well, actually,
Oh, the last I
it
checked.
was- it's not the last minute or so because we're now in the second half, and I think that was in the first half.
Well,
But,
the last time I looked at the table, which was about 2 minutes ago,
well, we're 50 minutes into the game,
Okay.
and the goal came in the 45th plus 2.
well, blame Google. Okay.
Also, Richarlison actually had a goal disallowed by VAR in the 45th minute. And imagine going
That didn't show
from
up on the table either.
thinking you're going to be 1-0 up ahead at that 1-0 up at the half to going, all right, it's at least 0-0 at the half, to 2 minutes later going, well, we're going in 1-0 down at the half.
Yeah.
It's not a great few minutes for
Not-
Everton there.
Not ideal.
All right, Mike, what else you got?
Jude Bellingham's been in trouble recently with the German FA. for his
Yes.
comments on the referee.
Not just
Why, what
the
was his comments?
not just the German FA. I think he actually got a criminal complaint filed against him.
Basically, Keane, Dortmund and Bayern had played their game on the weekend, and
Right.
there was a penalty appeal from the Dortmund players in the second half for their thing. The ref waived it, didn't even bother to look at it. Just
Right.
played on, said, I'm not going to check it. But then Bayern got one later on in the second half that was more dubious, but he spent even longer and actually did a VAR check on that one. And then awarded
Right.
the penalty. And obviously, the Dortmund players were aggrieved, saying, why would you check that one and not ours? And Bellingham said at the end of the game, you give a referee that has match fixed before the biggest game in Germany, what do you expect?
Yeah, how does somebody who's wait, has he been confirmed match fixing before?
Yeah.
How the fuck does he get back into the Bundesliga?
We have no idea how he gets a top rated game,
Like,
but
genuinely.
It's
Yeah, that's yeah.
yeah, not great. Absolutely not great. I think it might be because apparently he testified against other referees, but like it's not like he didn't do it himself as well, which isn't great.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite weird like to and fro things because it's a big one in the basketball with Tim Donaghy, the only ever referee in American sports who got confirmed match fixing because he was gambling on them. And then in his like book and his statement and all this, he outed 3 or 4 other referees, I think, or 3 or 4 games that were like he said that they were fake match fixed as well that he wasn't involved in, and everyone who was officiating those games just came out and said, "Well, of course he's going to say that to help clear his own name. We didn't do shit." Like you can't trust him. You know, he's just saying this to write a book. It's bullshit. And I was like, yeah, you're both probably right, but it's just kind of funny the way like he probably knows what games are match fixed, but we can't trust him because he's making money off of them.
Yeah, it's a really interesting situation. I don't know how he's managed to get literally the biggest game in German football as well.
yeah.
Like it's really poor
Yeah.
from the DFB to actually
Yeah.
put him in charge of that game in the first place.
It's just weird.
Yeah, very strange. Very strange.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what actually comes of this.
Yeah, it's not a great situation for Jude Bellingham to be in either.
He's English, isn't he?
He is English.
Right.
Made headlines in England when he became what? Birmingham City retired there his jersey number at
Oh,
the age of just
yeah.
16.
Fucking
He's
hell.
leader 17.
Yeah. I did forget about that. God, that was great.
But it'll be interesting to see where the criminal complaints against Bellingham
Yeah.
go as well.
True.
You just know in German ref watch you have their own German category going, no, the referee was right. I can see why people are upset, but in the end, I think it was the best call.
No matter what. All right, let's move on. Keane, what else have you got?
Big day yesterday.
Go on.
That was a big day.
Another big day.
Yeah. The Cowardly Lions finally got their first win of the year after 364 days of losing. They finally won a game in the NFL. They beat the Vikings 29-27. And what a finish it was. Well, I've always said it. Jared Goff's a top quarterback. And quite the drive he had there to finish it off.
I don't believe that's true, Keith.
Never said a bad word about Jared Goff.
Pretty sure.
Never in doubt.
Never
Pretty sure when we were watching it.
Just see him fuck up. Never done that. Never, no. Tactical.
I said to Mike actually yesterday after seeing it that the Lions' record of 1 win, 10 losses, 1 tie is really symmetrical at the moment. So they either
Yes.
have to lose out or tie as many games as they win for the rest of the season. That's what I think.
I just love the fact that it's binary, but then before yesterday when they were 10-1, it was still binary too. My brain just didn't think about it until they had the 1 win. I don't
Fuck's
know why.
sake.
Nah,
I can't wait till
I
they
like-
lose this week and go 1-11-1. That's
Yeah.
pretty hype.
That's it.
Then can we get Jocelyn to do it on a stamp and just
A commemorative stab.
Can I just point out, I have a new theory that wasn't Jared Goff.
Oh,
That-
what's the new theory?
I don't think it was. I believe the Lions, in a sneaky bit, told Jared Goff that he won an all-expense trip holiday away, and they hired method actor Ryan Gosling to come in and tell him he's the greatest QB ever. That's what actually won him the game.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I can't find any flaws in your logic there.
Exactly.
It's a science fact.
Yeah, so there's no winless teams in this year's NFL. Good job.
Yeah, I think there's a couple on 2, so they still probably want to lose out just to guarantee the first overall pick, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're pretty sort on the first overall.
probably to be fair, yeah. But they could still make the playoffs, I think, can't they? With
No,
your
they're out.
Not anymore.
No,
No,
they're out.
they're
Mathematically
officially out.
out.
Or the Jets didn't win.
Yeah, because you
And
went
the
through
Raiders
that all
didn't win.
yesterday as we were
Yes.
watching it. You were like, oh, they can still do it. They won. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, please don't
Yeah.
tell me this is going to be a thing.
Unfortunately, it didn't come true. It was just a little too late for the Mighty Lions.
The mighty, mighty Lions. All right.
Alright, let's move along to... I actually have some news.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
I know, out of
Shock news.
nowhere.
This is why I hate our production meetings. You say you have no news, and then you just come out with news halfway through the show.
Yeah, no, I was just scrolling through something and went, oh, that's actually quite interesting. A Spanish court last week ruled that all La Liga games must take place in Spain, according to RFEF. Which is interesting because I believe certain teams, not looking at any one president in particular.
Are we shitting on Barca again? Just so I'm
No,
aware?
no,
No.
this is
Oh.
Real Madrid.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he was looking to have games outside of Spain to try and bring in the likes of the Middle East and America to try and bring in more money and from different fans. You know, because who cares about the legacy fans, as he's called them before,
Ah, yes.
during the whole
The
Super
legacy
League,
fans.
during the whole Super League fiasco. Apparently, they had eyes on the likes of Miami and the Middle East.
Yeah, because they already run that Spanish Super Cup in the Middle East every, Christmas, New Year.
The Club
Nobody
World
cares
Cup.
about. No, the Spanish Super Cup.
Do they?
It's like,
Do they?
yeah, I only know it's because of Football Manager. But yeah, they get the whoever wins the La Liga and the Spanish Cup plus 2 other teams. They go to Dubai for a week and they play a semi-final final.
Ah, my Albacete team hasn't made it to the Spanish Super Cup yet, so I wouldn't know.
Someday. But that nobody cares about it. But they're trying to do that, and I think they just want to obviously just to up the brandage of the Spanish teams in the Middle East. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but for a sport like football, I can see why they want to do it to make them kind of overtake the Premier League, and if you can break the American market more so, that would be insane. But it's still weird. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think it's a good ruling to have all the La Liga games played in Spain going forward, and hopefully it puts a stop to any of that talk, and hopefully it puts a bit of a further dent in any Super League discussions.
I mean, yeah, fair.
I don't see why it would,
I
but anyway.
mean,
Yeah,
because
that's because it's
La
nothing to
Liga
do with
isn't
it.
the Super League.
Yes, yes, I know.
The La Liga Super League. Sponsored by Doritos.
All right, Mike. What other news have you got?
Pep Guardiola last week was complaining, saying his Man City team is facing a player emergency. I found quite funny. The most
Like Derby
stacked squad.
County emergency, or
Like he's saying all his players are injured. He's he's running out of players to play. He has to play his bench players. And I'm like,
His bench
Oh,
players
no.
just still cost like 50 million each.
so here's the team he played on Watford.
Sorry,
This is
just a
after-
quick interjection here. Richarlison has just had another goal disallowed by VAR. It is still 1-0 Arsenal.
Were you going, oh, because you saw those lines and went, oh, look at those lines.
No, I saw it was 1-1 and then saw Richarlison disallowed goal. I was like, oof.
But here's the team that played on the weekend, right?
Go on.
Now tell me if you could see the weak link in this team. Ederson in net. Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo. Gondwan, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Sterling, Grealish, and Foden.
Right.
British.
Don't see
Don't like
anything wrong there. So then I went, maybe it's his bench. Maybe he has 15, 16 year olds on the bench.
Yeah.
Stones, Ake, Gabriel Jesus, Shanchenko, Stefan, De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Mahrez, and Chris Carson.
Yeah, I don't see why he has a player crisis there. That's
Yeah.
also I've just seen the offside, the second offside, and that's close.
Oof. In your
Um,
judgment, did they get it right?
I don't know. Like it's very it's very hard to see with the naked eye, so I'm going to just assume they got it right because I feel like
Dermot Gallagher.
they've done better with it this year. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I also feel very sorry for
Pep Guardiola and his injury crisis and hope he gets over it.
Gabriel Jesus to be a backup striker in a team without a striker.
Yeah. He's a strange one though. I think he's a good striker, but at times I think to myself, but he's not one that you start with. Like that for City, I don't see him as a top 4 starting striker. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree on that statement.
I'll disagree, but just for shits and gigs. That's my only reasoning.
Just,
Okay, so what about you? Will she disagree or agree?
I don't know. I kind of stopped listening, to be honest.
Fair enough.
You do that a lot.
Yeah, but I actually have more news now.
Oh my god, I should stop scrolling social media and pay attention.
Actually, pay attention to the show.
But no, this
The live show.
is breaking. This is actual breaking news because it's only from 24 minutes ago.
Ooh.
Apparently, there's an idea going around that's beginning to gain ground to have AFCON relocate to Qatar. Abdel Munaim Shatta, former member of the African Football Federation, told an Egyptian channel, Al Hayat, that the case is now in the hands of FIFA. So it's interesting. I wonder if they will move AFCON to Qatar, because I assume Qatar has most of the
Stadiums.
facilities, stadiums and stuff needed to host this. You would hope they have most of it done at this stage.
You would,
Yes.
but then again, who knows?
Apparently, it was originally due to be hosted in Cameroon, which is not ready either. I think.
So damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
And I think there's also, I had seen last week the Premier League clubs were looking into possibly not letting players go because of Omicron variant of COVID-19. So I wonder if that would change things if they move it to Qatar as well.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to
Probably.
stop looking for new news though. And
That's-
Mike, what else have you got?
So while we're on AFCON, it was an interesting one. Patrice Evra made some scathing accusations after the Ballon d'Or, which was it Donnarumma won the goalkeeper award,
Yes.
Yes.
and Evra at the end of that said, "What about Edouard Mendy?" And I'm quoting here, "But of course, Africa Cup, we are monkeys that no one respects us, and this competition, We're the only competition where you have to leave your club, leave for 3 weeks and play the cup because Africa, we always have a little space. But things will change. Things will change. Now, it is quite interesting. He says this when he himself declared for France internationally. He didn't want to play for his home country of Senegal, I believe. That's a weird comment for him to say.
Yeah, but it's also it's a fair point regarding the fact that AFCON is. Well, maybe it's actually not a fair point. It's an interesting point. The fact that AFCON is the only international tournament where players have to leave their clubs.
But that's
for a few
because
weeks.
there's no. It's because my understanding of AFCON was the reason it's in January is because it's colder and not the midst of summer.
Yes, essentially the same reason that the World Cup in Qatar is being held in winter.
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
same reason.
So I
It's
also
just-
I assume it's the African Football Federation who sets like when it's on, the same way UEFA
And
would
to
set
be
when
fair-
the Euros are on.
don't most Euro teams anyway, leagues have the winter break anyway when it's on.
Yes,
Just the
most
Premier League.
Yeah, I believe most. Yeah, so it's. But then you have the players themselves. Excuse me, the
Yes.
players themselves don't get the break.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like we discussed that, didn't someone play a full year round with the Olympics and the Euros this year?
Pedri.
Someone for Barcelona, was it Pedri?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like that's not okay in any line of work and shouldn't be okay in football.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
I have last bit.
I have more news.
Oh my
No,
god.
I'm only joking. Go on. What's your last bit of news?
I want to get your opinion on. Did you last week watch the United Arsenal?
No.
Yes.
No. Yes. Okay, did.
No.
Oh, God. No. God damn it. So there was a controversial goal scored in it, and everyone's complaining, but I really don't see the problem of why and it shouldn't be controversial. It's the problem was basically a corner came in.
Right.
The guy goes to punch it. There's a bit of he punches it. There's a bit of a scramble. Next thing it falls to the box and it falls to Emile Smith Rowe, who just volleys it.
Is this the one where Fred stood on De Gea's
Yes,
foot before?
yes.
Yeah,
So
I heard about it.
He volleys it, right? Next thing you know, it just rolls in because the guy is lying on the ground injured.
Oh,
And
fuck.
obviously, the ref didn't blow the whistle, so the goal stood. But as soon as the goal stood, the guy jumped up and started running to the ref to complain. So he wasn't injured, but then VAR had a look to see, oh, what's the story? It was his own player ran into him. And it just brings the purpose that there have been so many times where a goalkeeper feigns an injury and it's just he gets the benefit of the doubt when there's not a foul.
It's
Yeah.
Like that one, it's like, oh, I got hit, I'm down on the ground, the game has to stop for me.
yeah, and it's just that yeah, it's literally just that Fred stood on his foot.
Yeah. Like, he was not injured, like, you could see in the game, as soon as the goal is given, he is running and sprinting at
yeah,
the ref.
I'm watching it here. And also, he's lying on the ground with his back facing the pitch.
Yeah, he's not even looking at the ball. He's just assuming a whistle will be blown for him.
I'm watching it again. Oh, no. It cut off right at the perfect angle. Hold on. I'll find a different angle.
But
But
I feel there
it's
needs
stupid.
to be
Which was the first or second? Or...
first
The
goal.
first goal.
Oh, there it is. Right.
Yeah, here we go.
Can roll around with the ball behind him. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, Fred just.
I mean,
stamps-
getting studied
Fred just stands
is
on
horrible.
his heel.
Oh.
100%. But
But it's football. It's a contact sport. Like, you play to the whistle. You don't hope the game stops for you. That's
It
like
also-
any other player.
it also
don't
couldn't
say,
have been a
"Ooh,
foul
no, but-
because Fred stood on his foot.
Yeah,
Goalkeepers are different, though.
not
Yeah.
to that extent, though.
Oh, like, there's a case to be made for it.
I mean, so
Not if Fred does it.
Yeah.
Not if Fred does it.
Fred very
Okay.
clearly did it.
Yeah, so like the guy knew, and like still.
But no,
even if
Mike's
you're-
after making the comment of, even if it wasn't Fred, he shouldn't have gotten.
Yeah, but I'm saying you don't turn your back and just pretend and lie on the ground. You play on.
Like, no,
regardless of
but
injury
if you
and go,
no, because if you play on, you definitely don't get the free. Like that's
He
a
was
bit of
never getting
a
the
thing.
free.
Yes, but like to be fair,
He's
he
not
doesn't know who
entitled to
studs
the
him.
free.
I
He
don't
doesn't
think
know who studs
I
him.
don't. Yeah,
So
I
if he
don't
gets
think he
split
knows
by an
it's
Arsenal
red.
player and he gets up, then he definitely doesn't get the free.
Yes.
So when he gets the contact like that, particularly one of those ones in the back of the heel, which honestly are horrible.
Quite sore. Yes.
Yeah, I can see why he goes down.
I would agree that if it had
But-
been an Arsenal player who had done it, I'd have been all for stopping it and giving a free out. But the fact that it's red just makes it look really stupid.
I don't know. It's just the fact he's facing the wrong way, and not even
Classic
paying attention.
Fred.
That just gets me. It's just,
It's also one of those where he does, as soon as the goal is given,
yeah.
jump up and run over to the referee, which makes it look worse than it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lie.
That's not a lie.
Yeah, ball's in. It's given. He's on the ground. Might be a few minutes later.
It's not a few minutes.
A few
later. Hold on,
seconds
let me
later.
find
Well,
out.
not minutes. That's a bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a lie.
I'm cutting to. I exaggerated, but
Yes, so did I.
Still.
I don't see why you
Your
could call me
exaggeration.
out. Yeah, why does your exaggeration all right, but mine isn't?
Yeah.
Keith,
Because
these
I'm
are
known for them.
horrific double standards, and
yeah, but I'm okay with it.
I'm not happy with this. All right, and I think you really want to check your fucking privilege,
But-
okay?
So, Mike,
Got our
do
first
you not
privilege check.
believe that when a goalkeeper goes down, that they should get? Like, I'm a big fan of them getting special treatment because they're
Nah.
such a pivotal thing.
Nah, there are
Like,
some
if
I
anyone else
really-
goes down, they don't affect the game anywhere near as much. They're affecting
I'm-
like if a goalkeeper goes down, it's a goal. There's no other way to explain it.
I have different views because I've seen it and I've had arguments where I don't understand how a keeper can
Mike
fling
has
his
different
body
views
across.
because he has shit takes the whole time.
Yeah.
You could say it, but I've seen
If
so
we're
many
talking
games where
about
a
someone
keeper.
who is and isn't injured, that's a different thing. But I mean,
Oh yeah,
when
no,
it
but I'm talking.
gets
but you're
properly
saying
hit.
Different views, but I'm saying you see games where a player is going for the ball and is heading, but the keeper decides to fling his body and make contact with the player before getting the ball, and then get the free kick. When the
How often
player-
do you see that? though?
That's not even
see
a
that.
relevant argument.
It is, you're saying
don't
different
remember
views,
having seen that
different
at any
rules.
point recently.
You don't see.
I think-
players-
no, I
If they-
think-
no. My argument is that they're like getting injured, even something off the ball. But if they foul somebody else, no, they shouldn't get a free for that. If that's your argument,
But it has to be a
terrible.
foul. It has to be a foul, right? Like that wasn't a foul.
not necessarily a
He's-
foul,
yeah,
but
but he's
basically, if
also-
the goalkeeper goes down,
Keith's not saying that should have stopped
Yeah.
play.
But even if it was an
Like-
Arsenal player, I can say, well, he's clearly not. It hasn't affected him at all. He's gotten up and is okay to play. It's not like he required treatment or nothing. He was okay
no,
to
if it was
play.
an
No, but that
Arsenal foul,
happens-
then
that happens.
100%.
That happens
Stop the
outfield
ball.
players the whole time where they go down, they don't require treatment.
Yes, and we had this.
We've had
discussion
many
on
discussions
diving.
on this.
Yeah, but it's not
We
always
agree.
diving.
It's
That's
bad.
not. That's the point.
All right, Mike.
It's
I
not
just
either
don't
a
think it's a
foul
free
or a
save,
dive.
okay?
It's not a.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't
an
think it's
either
foul.
or.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper makes a save, okay?
Yeah.
He's coming out with the ball. He's waiting for everyone to go. Puts the ball down. Then in the run up to kick the ball, pulls his hamstring, and goes down with only the striker nears him. You are okay with that walk-in goal
Yeah,
because he
it's,
pulled a hamstring?
it's a goal. Yeah, we've seen players, defenders pull up on with hamstrings. on
Defenders
one
are
of them.
different.
Defenders are different.
Defenders
No,
are
but you're
completely
saying-
different.
A keeper pulls the hamstring. Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's still live ball. Yeah, it's live ball.
I
It's
don't believe you can
unfortunate.
give that.
Do you remember what I said a few
It's-
minutes ago about Mike and shit takes? I'd
So
like
hold
to
on.
double
So
down
you're
on
saying
that.
it's a goal kick and the keeper pulls the hamstring in mid goal
Not a
kick and
goal
it goes
kick.
to the
Worst,
striker.
Not a goal
first
kick.
point. If it's a goal kick, it's not a live ball.
No, but he
So it's a
kicks it
completely
and then
different
pulls it.
situation.
I know. Well, he doesn't kick it. The ball's just sitting there. It's on the run up. Like it's a live ball. Like he makes a save, and they put the ball down, and he takes a few steps back because he's been a bit of a prick about it. I kind of hate when they do that, but I kind of understand it. And then in the run up to actually clear the ball, he
Yeah,
injures
but does he-
himself and doesn't get to
does
the
he
ball.
touch-
That's no.
So then it's not
Ball's
live ball,
live.
but that's different.
No,
It's
that's
You're
what
not
I'm saying. Is
listening
it
to
is.
him.
No,
I'm
you're
very
not, Mike.
confused. So,
Listen.
hold on. Yes.
Keeper makes a save. He's holding the ball. He waits for
Yes.
everyone to leave. Striker kind of hangs around a little bit, but a
Yeah.
good enough bit away. So he does what all goalkeepers do a lot of the time. He just
Yeah.
tees himself up, puts it on the ground, takes a few steps back, and then ball's still live. then when running forward to kick the ball, then pulls his hamstring.
Yeah,
The ball's
that's a goal. That's a goal.
No, you need to give goalkeepers special
Yeah,
attention on those.
that's a goal, and I think Oshie would agree with that. That's an unfortunate incident. It's a goal, though. It's a fluke, but it's a goal.
Well, I think the referee had stopped the play at that point.
You have to.
I also, I do agree with keepers getting special treatment, but I do think it goes too far at points.
I don't watch enough to say, but they definitely have to get special treatment. It changes the game so much more drastically than any other player on the pitch.
Yeah, so
Like it's
in much the same way that keepers are able to get treatment to go off and come straight back on again. They don't have to wait for
yeah.
play
for
to
the-
resume,
yeah,
but
the-
they have to wave them
yeah.
on. That's
I
one.
agree with that, but
that's one case of
contact
special
is-
treatment.
If a keeper initiates contact, it's not a foul for a keeper.
No one's
No one's talking about that.
saying that.
That's what I've been saying. That's my whole
Yeah,
argument.
no,
is special treatment.
No, that's not.
But
no, that's-
special
that's-
treatment
no.
doesn't mean that they get everything no matter
You know,
what.
that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that if they kick someone, they get a free out. That's not what we're saying at all.
I think
That's
it's still
not
thing.
even close to what
If
we're
a keeper's injured in the midst of a play, it's unfortunate, but it's still play. It's a live ball. You cannot say it's not live, regardless if the keeper is injured. He's still a player, like every player.
No,
the
no,
only
yeah,
time
he
the
is,
game,
he is,
the only
he is.
time the game can stop is if it's a head injury.
That's not true.
That's definitely not true. That's a lie and a half. And I don't even watch football, and I know that's a
The
lie.
referee has
I
to
watch
stop it
enough
for a
football
head
to know
injury,
that.
but it's up
Yeah.
to him if it's not a head. It's to the referee's discretion if it's not a head injury whether or not he stops play. It's not that it can only stop if it's a head injury.
Okay, or that thing, but not
Like,
any
no, but Mike,
injury.
what I'm trying to say to you is, injuries okay happen. It is what it is. But an injury to an outfield player affects the game to such a small extent for a minute. Like, it doesn't affect the game for a minute or two, whatever times it takes them to get treatment and get him off. It affects, when the goalkeeper goes down, it affects the game to an astronomical amount. Like, if your
Yeah.
striker, even if your centre back goes down, it's not a massive advantage. It can be a big advantage, but it's like you have to give goalkeepers special treatment. Where, like, if they go down, there should be consideration to stopping the game. Obviously, if your own player takes them out, less so. But, like, and that does lead to other issues with goalkeepers just wanting to get things, sure. But it affects the game so much.
Again, at
Like,
that point
it's-
though, it's down to the
And
referee's
yes, okay,
discretion.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, massively. I will concede. When a goalkeeper attacks another player, I don't believe that should be a free, because that's your point.
I
No,
don't think.
I
To be
don't.
fair, I don't think that's you conceding anything because you agreed with that the whole time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you've not conceded anything there.
No, but I'm just saying that in the scenarios that Mike keeps throwing us, I will agree with him.
All right, let's move on.
Move on.
'cause Mike's an idiot. Was that all the news we had today?
Yes.
That's all the news that I had, anyway.
Well, I've got
Uh,
more news. No, I haven't really.
Oh my
There-
god!
I only have the Atlanta Falcon Stadium controversy.
Oh, I
can
read
save that
something
for a
about
later
this, but
date.
I didn't.
There's just been a
Oh,
host
exactly.
of robberies in the away teams at Atlanta games.
Like
And the
in their
most-
dressing room.
Oh yeah, so look, their socks,
God.
shoes have been missing, and they've been mysteriously put on eBay. But the most controversial item was Mac Jones's play sheet with wristband has been stolen.
That's
that's-
yeah.
That's a big one. That's got
That's a
missing.
very big one. Yeah.
That one hasn't appeared on eBay yet, so that's a bit of a worry.
I mean, yeah, that's not one of the ones that goes on eBay. That's one of the ones that you privately make some phone calls.
Yes, there's been a.
Who's the Bills manager currently? Is it still McDermott? It is.
It is.
Yeah,
like
just,
a-
hey Sean, got something you want?
Yeah, because there's been photos and stuff like, oh, I got Stidham socks, €20. Nick Folk socks. He's like, how do you know Nick Folks? Well, here's his picture of his locker room, and here's his blood on it. The sock.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, so that's a bit of a worry. It's not just Patriots. Apparently, other teams have reported to the NFL saying that they
Okay.
had stuff missing.
Did they just steal from other teams just to hide the fact that they wanted to steal from Patriots?
I don't
Maybe.
know because
Maybe they stole
current
from the Patriots
forensic
to hide the
countermeasures.
fact that they wanted to steal from one of these other teams.
Potentially.
Yeah, I think that, but you also got this is also the same stadium where, do you remember Brady's jersey was stolen and it became grand larceny?
Well, I mean, if shit is getting stolen, then maybe it's Mac Jones's fault for leaving it there. Should be
What?
more aware of his surroundings. I'm just saying, if you know that people, if
This,
you know the place is notorious for robberies, I'm just saying, don't put your play sheets down.
Just like to
you know?
point out that this podcast does not
So robberies.
does not condone victim blaming or robberies.
That is just
Once again, sarcasm. But you know,
These views are Keane's and Keane's alone.
it's not even mine.
it's not like
sarcasm.
it's not like in the locker room. There's an announcement every 10 minutes to going. Please be cautious of what you leave. We will not be responsible for theft.
Yeah. It's
There's
like,
no warning.
Why don't the Falcons just
but
put up one of
let's
those
see
letters,
first.
one of those notes they have in gyms? It's like,
Yeah.
you leave shit here.
Okay,
We're not held liable.
But what was Mac Jones wearing? Was he asking for it? That's all I want to know. Was he? Do you have big sign saying "rob me" on
Whoa,
it?
whoa!
Fuck it out.
You got- I don't think what Mac
Jesus.
Jones is wearing is saying he was asking for it.
Once again, sarcasm. But you know. All right, I've got more news if we want to quickly move on.
Yeah, go on.
Building on from last week's news, so we've had a week now of the World Chess Championships. I've been
Oh,
practicing this.
Practicing
So
chess.
it started off. No,
Oh.
how to pronounce the Russian challenger's name.
Ah,
So the first 5 games ended in a draw, and since then we've had another 3 games of which Carlsen has taken 2 over Jan Nepomniachtchi. We're getting there. So Carlsen has a commanding 5-3 lead now after 8 games, with about 6 to go. I don't know chess well enough, but apparently there was a big blunder in game 8 yesterday, which led Magnus to winning it. I don't know what was so bad about it, but
attaboy,
people are
Magnus.
excited that we've had wins in the World Championship for the first time in 5 years, I think. So,
That's
always nice.
kind of
Time to
insane.
be alive.
It is. Classical chess is just, it just seems impossible to actually win games. Because they have
Really?
2-hour clocks, and then it even gets longer the longer they get into the games.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. I was watching some of it. It's fascinating.
It is
But,
quite interesting to watch.
And Magnus Carlsen is one of the most interesting people I've ever read about.
Ah, that's insane.
He's just...
And yet again, great at fancy football.
I'd say he's taken a few week dip this week with the prep for this, you'd like to think.
You never know.
But then again, maybe not.
Maybe that's how he unwinds.
Yeah. Because there was a thing with the first rest day that they had where apparently, Magnus was out playing football and basketball all day.
Absolute legend.
So he's a big sports fan.
6 days. When did this start again?
About a week ago. When was game 1?
He made changes to his fancy team 6 days ago. He sold Saka for Sancho and captained Mo Salah.
26th, so that was, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we've been-
after that, he's made changes. Exciting.
Yes. So, yeah, it's looking likely that Carlsen will hold on to his world title now after that.
What a man.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to our main topic. It's not even our main topic because we're 45 minutes into this.
Extra news.
Yeah, pretty much. Just what we're going to talk about for the rest of the show until we get sidetracked.
Fair.
The Formula One. We had an interesting race yesterday as we approach the final race of the season. And after yesterday's result of a Hamilton win and Verstappen second, we go into the final race of the season with both Hamilton and Verstappen level on points.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
go on.
One of the interesting things I was reading today, you get points for fastest lap.
Yeah,
That's a thing.
You get 1 extra point for fast if you come in the top 10. So you only get points for it if you're already getting points anyway.
Right. Because I seen that was a thing, and that was confusing me because I thought it'd be great just with them leveling points, and whoever wins, but then because it's technically still kind of true.
It should still be whoever wins wins. Yeah. With the way that the points are given out, I think it's like 20. Hold on, let me just double check. Because I think essentially it goes like, the winner gets 25 points, and then second is 18, then 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1.
Yeah, so unless they both come like 8 to 10, it won't matter who's got the fastest lap between them.
Yeah.
If they get it. Okay. So
But-
yeah, big exciting finish.
It does. The fact that they give points for fastest lap does give rise for a lot of strategy within races. It's like if, there's been a number of races where either Hamilton or Verstappen weren't going to win, but had a big enough gap between them and third place that they could put on new soft tires and go out and try to get the fastest lap, literally the last lap of the race, to try and get that extra point.
Yeah.
So it does give rise to
Interesting.
extra strategy, which is quite interesting. Yesterday's race was the first Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah on the longest street circuit of the year. I think 27 corners, I think they said. And it's a strange track because essentially, because it's a street circuit, there's no runoff space at the side. It's just the track and barriers. So
Oh yeah.
if you crash, there's nowhere to. If someone crashes in front of you, there's not really anywhere to get around it or stay away from it. So there was a number of accidents during the race. It was red flagged twice, which meant they had to stop the whole race and start again from that point once they'd cleared cars off the track. And there was a couple of close calls and a couple of collisions between Hamilton and Verstappen. But Hamilton managed
More than
to
a few
win it.
close calls.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know if did you guys
Yeah.
see?
I
Hamilton
I
That's
did
what
look
I-
this
back
up
of-
for this
I saw
reasoning,
it,
yeah.
so I need to understand this. So I saw Verstappen has been given was given a penalty.
Verstappen was given 2 penalties.
Yeah, why wasn't Hamilton for ramming into the back?
Verstappen was actually given a 10-second penalty for that.
Yeah, why? Like,
Because-
wha-
So what happened was the race director, Verstappen, had overtaken Hamilton outside the track, which you're not allowed to do. So Verstappen had been told to give the place back to Hamilton.
Right, yeah.
So the race director told Red Bull, who then told Verstappen to give the place back, but to do it strategically. So essentially, Verstappen led the whole way around into the DRS detection zone, because if you're within 1 second of the car in front, you get DRS, which means your rear wing opens up and it's aerodynamics, so you get like an extra 10 kilometers an hour essentially. So he wanted to give up the place just before that, so he'd be within range to just take it back straight away.
Yeah.
But the race director told Red Bull before he told Mercedes.
Yeah.
So you can see on the onboard with Hamilton, Verstappen slows down. Hamilton hasn't been told that he's going to give the place back, so he doesn't know why. But he's like right behind him, and as he turns to left to pass, also Verstappen's kind of pretty central on the track.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
did see
supposed
that
to-
he
he's-
didn't really give him any space.
Yeah, he's supposed to turn to the side, kind of go to the side to give Hamilton space to pass. But also, as Hamilton starts to pass, or starts to move to get around him, Verstappen kind of weaves slightly to each side and brakes again. So essentially, he stopped or slowed down much more suddenly than Hamilton was expecting, which is why Hamilton rear-ended him. And Hamilton at the time didn't know that Verstappen was given the place back, so didn't know he was going to slow down or should have moved to
Yeah.
the side.
Because like,
So is
right,
that not
Verstappen,
bit
yeah,
harsh?
Verstappen did it terribly.
Yeah, he
but
did terribly. Is that
surely-
not harsher on the race director said, well,
Yeah,
I told this
definitely
guy
should be.
first instead of this guy.
Yeah,
Well, that's on the
personally,
race
what
director,
did-
yeah, but it's still
100%.
He's still technically. I don't know if it's technically brake testing, but brake testing is where you kind of
What Hamilton did the
ram
day
on the
before.
brakes suddenly. No,
No, not
No.
what Hamilton had a few close calls the day before slowing down really suddenly.
No, Hamilton was slow on the track because he was on an outlap, and other cars were on fast laps because they were in qualifying. But he didn't like ram on the brakes right in front of them. He didn't know they were coming because his engineer hadn't told him in time, which you can also hear on the radio, which is made public.
I did hear some of the radio shit where Hamilton was giving him shit because he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah,
I just love the radio though, where they tell Verstappen they're like, "Hey, we're gonna give him back that place," and it was just so casual and so nonchalant, and I was like,
I think
I can understand that, but it's just funny.
I think the fact that also Red Bull told Max give him back the place strategically didn't work in their favor when the stewards were looking into it.
Oh,
Um,
fair, yeah. Like you can see why they would try and do that, but without if the race director just told them give him back that place without any specification on where or how. But yeah, Verstappen made a fucking balls of it. Like it was a narrow part of the track, and he was just sitting in the middle of it, slowing down.
yeah,
Kind of
and
funny
then
to watch.
you can see on Hamilton's onboard that he does kind of, or on one of their onboards, that Verstappen does actually weave a bit then as Hamilton is getting behind him, which would also make him even more hesitant to go around him when he doesn't know that he's supposed to be given the place back.
Yeah, true.
So he was given a 10-second penalty after the race was finished, which didn't matter because I think he was still 6 seconds ahead of third, even with the penalty.
Oh, with the penalty, yeah.
So you can hear also 2 penalty points.
Yes, which is I think more of a deal because they don't come off for a year. I can't remember exactly how many he has.
7.
Well done, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, problem. Currently looking at the report.
Cheers. So that could be an issue next season. But essentially, it comes down to
Are
Max-
they?
Go on.
Do you get them often? Like, because
They stay
Is it-
on
is it
for
like
a
a-
year.
and is he likely to get? What is he get? If he gets a 10, he gets an issue, or what's the deal with him?
If you get to, I'm not even sure what the amount is, but if you get to a certain amount, you get a race ban.
I feel like that happened to one of the Haas drivers in Drive to Survive.
I think it's 12 point maximum.
Ah,
Um,
intriguing.
no driver has ever reached the maximum so far, but I think like Max is on 7, and I think most of those have been since September.
So I'm reading the reasoning here
Yeah, right.
from the official statement that it says
I read it earlier. It is quite
Yeah.
interesting to see.
car 33 slowed significantly at turn 26. However, it was obvious that neither driver wanted to take the lead prior to the DRS detection line 3. Driver of 33 stated that he was wondering why car 44 had not overtaken, and the driver of car 44 stated that, not having been aware at that stage that car 33 was giving the position back, was unaware the reason car 33 was slowing. It assigned the penalty to the driver of car 33. The key points for the stewards was that the driver of car 33 then braked suddenly and significantly, resulting in a 2.4 G deceleration. Then it's just getting really small print, so my eyes are failing me.
God damn it, Mike. All right, Mike's off on fact checking duty. He can't read.
I really can't. Oh my god. What sort of font is this? I'll accept it, driver. Yeah, so it just goes on more details on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting
God,
to
what a
read
fuck up.
their
Yeah, so they're saying
the stewards'
yeah.
reports when they penalise someone because they
it
do
is
give
funny
proper reasons.
because if they are saying that yes, car 44 could have overtaken, but we understand why he didn't. Which
Yeah.
I think is then harsh on for giving the penalty if it's like, well, he did it. The guy just didn't do it because he didn't know.
Well, no, but also
Yeah.
Verstappen braked suddenly in the DRS zone because he didn't want to be the first to cross the line, and it was the sudden brake that the stewards determined to be the reasoning for the collision, which is why he received the penalty.
Mm.
So I think when I was watching it, I was convinced that that was Verstappen's fault. Watching it live, and also
No, but is he not meant to break suddenly?
Not that suddenly.
Hmm.
Like he
Yeah.
had slowed down. He'd slowed down, and then Lewis was right behind him, and then he broke suddenly again.
He needs to, Keen, he needs to slow down, but put his arm out and do the signal to overtake.
Yeah. Go around. Go around.
So it was interesting, but it's going to be an interesting race now in Saudi Arabia.
So, what you're telling me is next Sunday, Verstappen and Hamilton are both going to crash on the final lap and going to have to run it out.
Yeah, whoever lies on the...
Talladega
somehow-
Nights.
Somehow Bottas is going to get 170 points as a result.
I'd be impressed. I'd love to see it. Bottas actually finished third in yesterday's race as well, beating Esteban Ocon, who was third for a good bit, and Bottas literally passed him just before the line.
Oh, yeah, I did hear there was that. Yeah, there was a tight finish. All right, we do have the big head-to-head at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can either Haas driver get a point?
Yes.
It's been a long season,
Can
and they've been shocking.
can Nikita Mazepin stop being?
Climb up above the guy who'd raced twice.
Can Nikita Mazepin finish above 21st in a 20 driver division?
So,
Haas actually are apparently both of their cars unfortunately crashed yesterday. Mazepin, neither at fault, to be fair. Mazepin couldn't do anything about it, and Schumacher lost the rear of his car. But apparently,
Oof.
there's reports coming out that Haas are struggling for. Well, they're tight on spare parts after both of their cars crashed yesterday. So it's not great.
Oh
for
yeah,
them.
they're not cheap. So yeah.
so what are the odds
damn it,
of
Haas.
not into Formula One this season of Verstappen or Hamilton doing a Tanya Harding on this?
Well, if anything is going by this season, there's been a lot of very unsportsmanly crashes from
That's
what I
what
hear.
I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
actually
Tanya
not a fan
Harding.
of how Verstappen races. I think he gets
He's
he
he's
gets
a you're
quite
either
dirty
first
at
or
times.
last kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a either you pull out of this overtake or we both crash kind of guy. Is essentially what he is.
So he's Ivan Drago. If he does, he does.
And the interesting thing is that if, for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, obviously, but if it were to occur that both Hamilton and Verstappen crashed and didn't complete the race in Abu Dhabi, then Verstappen would win because he has more
Wins.
wins.
More wins. I meant to ask that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what you're telling me is he could possibly just go add.
Oh, take them
Click.
both out.
There's a lot of talk on if he were to do that, would he be like, how would they penalize that? Like, would he be disqualified from the whole season, or like?
What
I don't
about
know,
if
it's very
Sergio
difficult.
Perez's teammate did it?
Yeah, that's also an interesting one.
Took one for the team because I don't think he can be caught for fourth. No, he's
And-
32 points clear. So.
And then Bottas takes one for the team and takes out Verstappen. Like, well, you still win anyway.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting because Mercedes and Red Bull are also going for the Constructor Championship. So they need Bottas and Perez to get as many points as they can. Perez hasn't been great in recent weeks, so I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting.
That's actually I kind of forget about that. Like one of the things I have noticed when I was looking this up today, and one of the reasons I'd never liked Formula One as a child, and I still have my queries. I know they kind of tried to fix it this year, but every team, both their drivers are within spitting distance of each other,
Yeah.
and that screams to me that the cars are particularly good. Like either your car is good or your car is not. Your car is middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I always find that weird.
They are hoping to change that for next season. There's new.
Is it next
regulations.
year's the one with the?
Yeah, they
I
were
thought
going to
that was
be
in this year.
They were going to be this year, but I think they were pushed back because of COVID. But they
Fair.
announced the new car for next year. So the hope is that everything's going to be a lot closer together. But
So what you're saying is Haas for the
Join
championship
this
next
new
year.
rule.
Haas for the championship, yes. I was going to say something and I've completely forgotten what it was.
So, where are we on Red Bull getting the other driver to clip Hamilton?
Oh,
So it's
that's
not
We discussed
Verstappen.
this.
We do discuss this.
We did, yeah.
While I was trying to
That's
stall,
the
and
other
you
thing
rejoined
is
the party.
Oh, I didn't even notice he left.
I only noticed because I'm actually on the Xbox, so
Um,
I heard the ding of a notification, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
But you know the way that essentially every team has 2 drivers to make up 10
Yes.
teams, 20 drivers. Technically, Alpha Tauri they're another team on the grid, but they're essentially Red Bull's feeder team. They're
Oh my
also
God.
owned by Red Bull,
Oh,
so
fuck.
Red Bull essentially owns 2 teams.
So what you're
Yeah, I
telling me
don't know
is
how
they
that's
do it,
allowed.
so it's technically not illegal.
Yeah.
What they did, it has nothing on Verstappen. He is not on
Yeah,
that team.
penalize the other team, the Alfa Romeo, whichever team it is.
AlphaTauri.
That's not them, it's AlphaTauri. Yeah, it's like penalize
See,
them. Yuki
what-
Tsunoda took him out. We didn't do it.
Yeah, what you're telling me is Hamilton has anticipated this and he's offered Haas the same deal, and it's just every team's free for all, taking
Yeah.
each other out.
Now, to be fair, you don't go for Haas because Mick Schumacher probably missed somebody when he tried to take them out, just take himself out.
Oh, maybe you do go for Haas because he can get them while he's being lapped.
That's what they're saying. That never has been Haas.
He doesn't have to
No,
worry
you don't
about
have-
catching up to him. It's just whenever
They'll
he
get
gets
to you.
lapped.
That's it. He's waiting on turn 2, going soon.
Will this just become into what you call it, the dastardly races? You know, they'll have like compartments at the
races.
back, the
Yeah,
wacky
it's just
races
wacky
with
races.
like the spikes will drop out, and you know there'll be flying cars.
Oh, it's
With a
gonna
Mario
be
Kart. Schumacher is
It'll
the
be-
blue shell.
Hamilton's good radio to the pit saying, "I'm coming in now. Pit, you read. Pit. The entire pit team's not there because they're already in a fight with Red Bull."
Oh dear. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting end to the season.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably watch my first ever full Formula One race.
I've actually
do it?
yeah, I've really
Do we
gotten
do a
into it.
live
Big
show?
fan.
Live show watching it.
I mean, it's at 1:00. 1:00? Did I say?
I think you
said
said
1
about
o'clock.
a half
I think I said
1
1.
o'clock, something like that.
I think I said 1:00 too.
I mean, I can just check it here. It's 1 o'clock.
Solid.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh my god, it's in the Yas Marita circuit. Is mad. No, that's not. Never mind.
Yes, Maz.
Yeah. I
Uh,
wanted that to happen.
Also, Everton won 2-1 in the end. Richarlison finally got a
Oh
goal
my God.
allowed. And then Damari Gray scored a winner in the 92nd minute.
I'm seeing a suspect red card that wasn't given.
Yeah, I
got-
haven't looked at this yet. Apparently, someone stamped on a face.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
there's
the
a stamp in the face.
Ben Godfrey card?
Yes.
I've only seen it. The notification said it was. Hold on, let me go find it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting end to the season. I'm pretty excited.
Who wins, Oshin?
I would like Hamilton to win personally.
Why? He's won enough.
I just don't like Verstappen. I actually quite like Hamilton.
I
And
don't,
also,
and
it'd
he's
be
very full of himself.
record-breaking 7th.
Oh, I thought you did that last year.
No, I think it's record-breaking 7th is this year.
Could be.
Also, did you see that at 27 minutes there was Everton fans walking out the stadium
Yeah.
at nil
Yeah.
all?
Different reason though. They still stayed longer than the Liverpool game, but
That
they
is
were
true.
protesting something.
I can't find a highlight of the red card. The potential.
Now,
red
I've seen a
card.
still shot here.
Send it over.
All right.
Send it in. But yeah, so that's essentially all I had to say about the F1.
Yeah.
Unless
Oh,
anyone else
fuck,
has
WhatsApp
anything.
is not working.
Oh,
I
my
got
God.
it. I
Listen
got it.
to the,
I got it.
Oh,
I
fine.
come to the rescue.
I mean, I'm gonna put it into the Discord anyway. I see we have access
Oof.
to that.
I mean, the still always looks worse,
Yeah,
but it
I
looks
don't know how
pretty
it kinda
bad.
looks. I don't know how it looks better. Is the thing.
The fact
I
that
can't
he's,
make up any scenarios in my head that it's not.
I think the fact
bad.
that he's looking straight down at him as well looks. Mike, I'm fucking.
And the fact that he has
disgusted in
stud
you.
marks on
I'm
his face.
absolutely disgusted with you at the moment as well. Actually,
I went Google Images to get the photo.
No, to the
I don't
sun?
actually. Yeah, I don't even watch it. It's the
Pretty
first
sure
thing
he
we
sent us. Did he not send us the one with Messi and the kids? Was that from
Yeah,
his son as well?
That was also the son, the Messi and the kids. It just comes up.
Yeah, no, you need to get your fucking shit together, Mike.
Yeah, it just comes up when you search the son. But
Yeah, that, first thing kept when I typed in Ben Godfrey tackle.
You need to get your shit together.
Images.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Now,
I googled it and went straight to give me sport. That's the first one that came up for me. So I don't know what you're on about.
did it give you sport?
I'm hoping it gives me a fucking. Oh yeah, here we go. Sky Sports Premier League. They tweeted a video of it.
Ooh.
All right. Let's watch this and discuss this potential red card, and then we'll finish up.
you mean you watched it, not us.
No, I clicked on it to pause it and started playing sound. I'm sending in the link to their tweet.
Yay.
Here we go.
I forget to mute websites every time I go into something new.
I look forward to Dermot Gallagher saying, "Not red for me. Nah, accidental."
What's with the colours at the top of the
Ooh.
scoreboard? Are they doing like a
Yeah, it's
Rainbow
LGBTQ
laces.
thing?
Yeah,
Ah.
rainbow laces.
oof.
Oh.
I think that's a red. How is that not a red?
Yeah, did they VAR review it? Do we know?
Yeah.
Like he can definitely avoid hitting him.
Yeah, like I don't think it's not. I don't think malicious. Because he's not looking
little
at him. He just kind of
malicious.
jumps.
I'd like to point
But
out
it
that
definitely should be red card.
on Monday Night Football, I think it's Gary Neville. Because I'm not actually watching the video, but Gary Neville's the one speaking at the moment. But the caption is, as a professional, he 100% means that.
Really?
So,
Like I think it
someone
should be
makes
red
mean
card,
it.
definitely.
I think it's a clear red. Whoever's watching it with sound is not me this time. Just like to point
That's
that
me.
out.
Not me.
Me.
Not me this time.
Because you said Gary Neville's talking, so I wanted to see because I had it on mute.
Mike loves now Gary Neville, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that's a clear red.
I believe it's a red.
That's
Like, I'd
shocking.
love to see what the VAR team were saying, and this causes so much issue when they don't.
Yeah, true.
Like, you can't tell me he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, I think I wonder if he'll get a post-match ban for that.
Do you think they went with the Lisa defense where he knew he was going to be jumping over there if he got in his way? It was his own fault.
Well, my face is going to be here, and if your foot hits me, it's your own fault.
If anything, I think he's going to go with the... Honestly, I thought it was a red card by him. He headbutted my ankle.
Yeah.
Tender. He went straight for the Achilles.
I lost one skull. He lost two ankles. Scoreboard.
I'd
I
say
like
that's
that
fucking
Pickford,
painful.
Pickford's
as well,
there. Pickford's
Oh,
there
yeah.
trying to say it was not a red ref. Like, come on. No way.
Piers
Watched
Morgan.
this too many
I'd just like to point out that I no longer think it's a red card.
Why? What did Piers Morgan say it's a red card?
Piers Morgan said, "Not even booked for deliberately stamping on Tommy Asu's
Wait,
face. Outrageous
even
by
given a
Godfrey
yellow.
and the referee." No, he wasn't. Yeah.
So are we saying then that they have deemed that it wasn't
The foul. in any
intentional?
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, Give Me Sport. Give Me Sport says it's easy to see both sides of the story.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, I could see either side of his face getting stepped on, if that's what they mean. Oh my God.
All
Like,
right.
yeah, you could see the stud mark.
That is
Yeah,
genius.
it
in his
it
face.
doesn't look great. I'd say that's so fucking sore.
Alright, they're telling me, I'm reading here. Mike Dean didn't even look at it. Bard just said, "It is here, nothing need further needed."
Fuck's sake.
That's amazing.
All right, let's leave it there.
Right, yeah.
Uh,
Bless off, Johnny.
unless anyone else has any final comments.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a shout. Mick Schumacher is gonna get a point this weekend.
Oh, that's a big shout.
Big shout.
Verstappen and Hamilton aren't going to finish, and there will be at least 5 disqualifications.
There will be a fist fight between two members of the team, but I don't know if it's going to be pit crew or the actual racers themselves.
The excitement.
Oh my god.
Total
If there
Wolf
will
and
be
Christian
this, but-
Horner.
No, you know
The
what
two
it's gonna
team
be.
principles.
Yeah.
You know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a house that's gonna get the podium. It's gonna be that finish. They're gonna get the top 10 place in the meme.
Oh my god.
All right, we'll leave it there. So, yeah, leave it there. So,
Yeah.
remember, feed the algorithm, fuck the system, and death comes to us all. I forgot that one last week, and I'm bringing it back.